morning catechism. We are now at the close of the Christmas season. We celebrate the last major feast of the Christmas season, the feast of the baptism of Jesus. Of course, Jesus was baptized when he was 30, just before he began his public ministry. Baptism in the Jewish tradition was really not what baptism is for us. Baptism for us is an initiation rite. It's a dying and rising with Christ so as to enter into the life of Christ. In the Jewish tradition, circumcision was the rite of initiation for boys, and actually at the time of Jesus there wasn't any initiation rite for girls. Baptism in the Jewish tradition, I think, could be more likened to our sacrament of reconciliation. People went down into the river and submerged themselves in the water. It was a sign of repentance, a sign of turning away from sin and being ready for the coming of the Messiah, a sign of conversion. Well, then we might ask ourselves the question, why would Jesus need to get baptized? He never sinned. Have you ever heard the expression, been there, done that? I think Jesus, and he's pictured here as coming out of the water, he went into the water to take the place of sinners. And what he was really saying is, throughout my whole life, I can say, been there, done that. When people were full of fear, when people were hurt, when people were worried about the future, Jesus, because of his humanity, could say, been there, done that. When people were rejected, he could say, been there, done that. When people were tempted, he could say, been there, done that. The only time Jesus couldn't say it was in terms of sin. But by going into the water, what he was really saying is, I will take on the whole human condition, but I will do it the right way. When I am rejected, when I am hurt, I will not retaliate. When people harm me, I will forgive. He will go through the entire human experience doing it right. So at his baptism, what he was really saying is, I will walk in the sandals of sinners, but I won't sin. What he was really saying is, I will take on the act of redemption. I will redeem people by walking through the entire human condition and doing it as God would want me to do it. And so when we think about Jesus redeeming us, we have to think about him redeeming us at every moment of his life. Because at every moment of his life, he was living his humanity and doing it the right way. And finally, he would redeem us by going to the cross. Then he would enter into the worst of human suffering, and crucifixion was the worst. He would go into the depths of human suffering, but we know the end of the story. And so that takes us back then to our own baptism. It's a dying and rising with Jesus. And so when we think about this feast of the baptism of Jesus, we can think about Jesus going through all of the things that human beings go through and then being raised on high. And we can think of ourselves as being committed to be like Jesus by accepting all the dyings and risings in our lives. So although we celebrate the end of the Christmas season, we're really talking about the Easter season, because all of it is about the Paschal mystery.